Gentlemen, the time has come once again to discuss things.
Anyway, you ready to go ahead and get started on this shit? Alright, hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Geeky Gentleman Holiday Month, the month where we celebrate the contributions that Geeky Gentlemen have made to the holidays. It doesn't sound the same.
Would have been ignored by a bias. I don't know.
Right? Because I don't think you could say that geeks have been ignored by, like, a market, because we're taking over the world. Anyway, we're discussing holiday movies. These don't have to be Christmas movies, but they're probably all going to be Christmas movies, just because that's how this shit works. Let's see here. We had The Grinch go up last week. This going up on Thursday the 8th. Hello, people watching this on the 8th. So we'll need 1, 2, 3 more. Goddamn. Alright. Anyway, Rascal, what are we talking about this time?
4 Christmases.
Indeed. You go first.
Okay, so I picked this movie because it's one of the first Christmas movies that always comes to my head when I think of, like, Christmas comedies, because my family, this is kind of like what it's like when I was younger, because we had, like, my grandparents in Tennessee, then we had, like, my mother's mom's, like, her parents were divorced, so she had 2 families, and my dad's like that. It's crazy. Just I've always had, like, this retarded thing where it's like I have all these fucking Christmases and I hate them all. Fuck them all. Fuck Christmas. But this movie makes me think of that because I actually saw this movie with one of my, like, groups of extended family in Tennessee, and it was bullshit. Yeah.
Okay. I laughed twice. And it was at the exact same joke. And it wasn't at the joke itself, it was at Haley's reaction to the joke.
Yeah.
I laughed exactly twice when Vince Vaughn was going to throw up because the baby threw up on old girl.
Yeah.
That was the only point at which I was laughing. And again, it wasn't because I thought it was that funny, it was because Haley thought it was hilarious. And I was laughing at her laughter.
Yeah.
Otherwise, fucking Christ, this movie is obnoxious.
I know, this movie's horrible.
It is. It's, like, so fucking terrible. Like, none of its humor lands. It tries so hard to get this idea of fitting 4 different family interactions into one movie that, like, it feels like you're watching half of a movie, or like a third of a movie for each of these families, and then they don't even fucking do anything with the 4th family. The 4th family is just the dad gives a speech.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything about that motherfucker because we haven't spent any time with him. Then it has other stuff that, like, it feels like it was trying to set something up, but then it just drops it more or less. I don't know, man. Like the shit with the one mom that's dating the pastor.
Yeah.
That goes fucking nowhere.
I know.
It's such a mess. And then there's, like, I get the idea of doing comedy and over-exaggerating and stuff like that. But it builds up, like, how much these people don't like their families. And then when we see their families are all fucking terrible. And of course no one would like it. It gives this message of, oh, you should spend every Christmas with your family. Fuck no, if it's these people.
Yeah, these people are horrible family members.
What kind of mixed message is that shit? It's not like they're annoying. It's like these are fucking awful human beings. He walks in the house and they, like, beat the shit out of him, fucking face rape him. It's just, why would you ever spend time with these people? And then, like, the dude learns a lesson not to be like his dad from being with his dad, but that's counterproductive to the lesson of spending more time with your family. The fuck did I watch? I feel like I got 2 scripts for 2 completely different movies mashed together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not like this movie. The sound design, it's just like, it's like 2 hours of Vince Vaughn screaming. Ah! Oh my god. It's terrible. This is like, it's not the worst Christmas movie I've ever seen, but it's certainly up there.
Compared to Surviving Christmas with Ben Affleck.
I'd rather watch that than this again.
I think I would too.
Yeah. This is weird because it tries to do the thing of like a cynical Christmas movie, and I just really want an actual cynical Christmas movie again. We haven't gotten one since Bad Santa. I wonder when Bad Santa 2 comes out.
I think it came out this weekend, maybe next weekend.
I think I know what I'm picking for one of our normal episodes.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, just, I like cynical Christmas movies, and this does that, like, little pussyfoot thing of, oh, it's kind of cynical, but not really. And it like, goes by the end, and you learn a fucking lesson, and again, you don't learn any lesson with this movie, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know, man. So was it just that this reminded you of your experiences as a child that made you pick this, or was there a greater reason? Did you, like, really want to tear into it?
No, it kind of just came to me when we were picking topics. I was just like, oh, this movie. Let's make Ian watch this movie.
Oh, well, thanks.
Yeah, this movie gives me stress. It it takes me back to those times of like childhood, and then it makes me like.
Honestly, me too, but not in the same way. Like, seeing him get the shit kicked out of him by his brothers, it just made me angry, made me remember getting bullied, and I just wanted to go fight those guys. I just really wanted to kick the shit out of and or stab those guys.
Go for it.
Yeah, and they're not like, that's the thing. Is you have all these horrible people, and absolutely no one is redeemed by the end of this movie. Like, no family member does anything to make up for what a freaking awful person they are.
Yeah.
But you just have to accept them. That's kind of just my whole thing on family, because, I don't want to get into too much of it, but I do not talk to my brother at all. He's just, in my mind, an awful person that no one should ever waste their time with. And constantly, every time there's like a family thing, I'm always told, oh, well, he's your brother, you should forgive him, you should get back, like, you know, forgive and forget, family is so important. I'm like, fuck that noise. Just fuck that perception of, oh, family's more important than anything, you shouldn't let anything divide you from your family. I'm like, fuck no. If I had family that acted like this, damn right I wouldn't talk to them. I wouldn't even bother making excuses. They tell me, like, hey, where are you gonna be this Christmas? Not fucking around you, click.
Yeah, like that's, see, yeah, I get so irritated with movies where it's like, pretty much anything you can just write off under the umbrella of we're family. I hate that so fucking much.
Yeah, these are monsters. Absolute monsters.
He's your brother, but he's Hitler! He's your brother! Come on! He's your brother! Like... Yeah.
And so, just like that message doesn't resonate with me. No one in the family does anything to deserve having Vince Vaughn around, or, like, I suppose I'll say what's her fucking name? the wife, the girlfriend, wife, whatever.
The character's name or the actress?
Actress, because I don't. These aren't characters. These are like just sock puppets that their motivation changes family to family.
The people. It's Reese Witherspoon. That's it.
That's what I thought. Yeah, Reese Witherspoon. Like her family's slightly better, but only slightly. Vince Vaughn's family, though, like both sides, are horrible.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, who do you think is the worst family? Is it the father's side, the mother's side, or what?
The father is like Vince Vaughn's dad's family. Isn't that the first family they go to?
Yeah.
They're the worst. Like, see, that's the thing, because that's the most, like, accurate to some of my extended family. That's why, like, when that comes on, I have, like, post-traumatic stress disorder. Like, things go wrong because of me watching that. Like,
I will say that I think the mother's side of things could have been worse if we just spent more time with them.
Yeah.
Because there are, for, like, 2 scenes. That's the thing, is there are, like, several scenes in which we are with Vince Vaughn's family, or the father's side of the family. Mm-hmm. We only get, like, 2 scenes with the mother's side. They get there, it's awkward because the dude's friend is now married or dating his mother.
Yeah.
And then there's, like, that awkward game where we realize Reese Witherspoon and Vince Vaughn don't know anything about each other. Which doesn't seem accurate because they clearly show that they have a fairly healthy relationship and that they do a lot of shit together. So, unless they're just focused on doing the things and never talk to each other whenever they're spending time together, I have trouble believing that. Like, that was stupid. And, like, then there's the brothers there, so he gets kind of, like, some bleed over. I don't know, like, the whole idea that your mom could ever be okay with dating one of your childhood friends is, like, ridiculous. No mother would ever be okay with that. That's like something you'd find in a shitty porn story that was written by a 14-year-old who really wants to bang his friend's mom. That would never happen.
What that is.
That would never happen.
That's hilarious. That's literally exactly what that is.
No parent could give no fucks about a kid like that. No parent ever could give no fucks about their child like that, unless they actively did not want them in their life. So it's like, she's the worst possible mother ever. And then the friend acts just completely irrational for the sake of comedy.
Yeah.
Like, I could see him acting that way if he was just the same age as Vince Vaughn, but they never had any connection before that. That I could see. It's the fact that they're friends and he's all like, hey, buddy, you want me to pay for you? Like, no, you wouldn't fucking act like that. It would be... You wouldn't act like it's not awkward as fuck. You would know how awkward the situation was.
He's like, oh, syrup. He's like, sticky. We tried that one time, or whatever the fuck he says. Like, what the fuck?
You would never be okay with saying that.
Yeah, like, oh, I obviously know that this is awkward for him, so let me just talk about all these creepy, weird things to this guy.
I never had a single sexual thought about your mother till I was in my 30s. Oh, well, your mother's a very sexual woman. No stepdad would ever say that, no matter what the age of their new stepson is. No one would, in their right fucking mind, would say that as a way to ease tension. And yet he fucking does. It's stupid. It's not even writing. It's like the most awkward, like, situation imaginable, and they don't even do anything to make it clever. It is just, okay, what's super awkward? Okay, what if his mom's, like, dating a guy who's the same age as him? Alright, yeah, that'd be pretty awkward, and then we could have him be, like, kind of a really stereotypical stepdad. Yeah, sure. Oh, wait, what if we make him his friend? It just gets so awkward to the point of stupidity, and then they don't even fucking do anything with it. It just ends.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this movie was terrible.
Yeah, it's not very good.
Okay, what'd you think of Reese Witherspoon's family? Because, like, we spend no time at the dad's. Absolutely no time. Like, the only person we meet at the dad's that wasn't at the mom's was the dad and his girlfriend. And his girlfriend literally has one line. So, we spend no time at the dad's. What did you think of her side of the family, though?
They were clearly the most tolerable, but it's like it's really, like, irritating how it's structured, where... would you agree that the first family is the worst, and then the last family is obviously the best, and that, like, that's ridiculous, because it's like, oh, wow, how convenient. Like, what if they went to the good family first, and then the rest of their day was just shitty? Would the fabric of their relationship have fallen apart?
I don't fucking know, man.
That's what annoys me about that, is that, like, that could have happened at the first house, and then they could have just learned all the other horrible shit later, and I think they would have ended it there. And that's what's hilarious about it.
That's a good point.
It's a Christmas miracle that they went to them last.
Well, it's also important that nothing fucking happens to the last house. All it is she talks to her dad. That is the only thing about that family, is we just meet her dad. And he's a fucking rational human being that isn't a goddamn monster. He is clearly the best, but we know so little about him that it doesn't mean anything. I honestly think that you should have had the disagreement at that house as opposed to in the car on the way there.
Yeah.
I feel like you give no time for the father to be anything but perfect by comparison to everyone else.
Yeah.
Like, you could have done something with him, God knows what, but, like, maybe he could have been the one that brought up that conversation. Or, like, they could have it could have just been her, Vince Vaughn, and the dad. And, like, they tell him how awful spending time with all the other families was.
Yeah.
And he's the one that brings up the conversation. That would make more sense. But it's just so useless.
Or even just not make this movie.
Well, yeah, that's the other option. Is just this is not a movie that should exist. They do a terrible job of budgeting their time, because the only characters that are expected to change are Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon. And really, it's only Vince Vaughn. Reese Witherspoon goes through a character arc, which, by the way, I figured out the first time they showed they did a shot of Vince Vaughn holding the baby. I'm like, okay, she's gonna, like, they do that shot, they linger on it. I'm like, okay, he's gonna be the one to, she's gonna be the one that wants a family by the end of this movie, and he's not gonna want it still, and then it's gonna be a big, like, breakup, misunderstanding, or whatever. And then he's going to realize the error of his ways and come to the end. Just in one shot, I knew that's what was going to fucking happen. And it did.
Yeah.
So, like, Reese Witherspoon goes through a character arc, and Vince Vaughn, by the end of this movie, is the one who's expected to change. Which, I don't know. Like, I don't have a problem with him being confronted with the choice of, do you want to keep delaying your life, or do you want to actually, start something with her? That's fine. It's just brought about in a really forced way in which no one else, even though they're fucking awful, is expected to change because of it. Like her dad has the line, oh, I wish I had spent more, or I'd give anything to have more time with my family back. Really? Would you? Because I've seen your fucking family, and I would avoid them too.
And I fucking wouldn't. Get your family away from me!
What'd you think of the, we never really got around to it. What'd you think of her family, though?
They were okay. They were fine. They were boring. They were normal people.
See, I don't know, while the one side of the family was very, physically abusive and then just awkward as fuck, her family was just, really, really, grin, shit-eating grin kind of people.
Yeah, They're the, here's the kind of annoying family that they are. They're the kind of family that is like, yes, we are solely here to embarrass you to the people that you know.
Yeah.
And, like, that's just so irritating because, like, that is, like, oh, my God, I'm about to go off on a rant here. There's this thing that exists with people in your family, and it's most of the time it'll be with, like, your mom. This is, like, the most likely person this is to be in your life. It's, like, this person that knows things irritate you, knows that there's no real reason to bring them up, but does it anyway, and then hides behind the, oh, are you just embarrassed by your family? Everybody is. But then they actually go out of their way to fucking embarrass you. That's who her family is. That's who.
I'm hearing some deep emotional scars, Raska.
This is just how it is, okay?
Yeah, like just the showing the pictures. It's so typical too. It's like if you're gonna have them be, emotionally shitty, I don't know, be more clever about it than that.
Yeah.
I lied. I did laugh one other time, and it was when he confronts her about her lesbian friend growing up.
Yeah.
That moment kind of made me laugh as she, like, came to the realization that she was, like, friends with a super lesbian.
I think it's funny when he says, you look like a 13-year-old boy named Bjorn or something like that.
Nah.
That is funny.
Like, at that point, I was just so done with this fucking movie. Seriously, by the second house, I was just like, okay, be the fuck over.
Yeah.
Be the fuck over. They're just, I don't like, but yeah, if you're gonna try to emotionally scar, be emotionally abusive, and embarrass the shit out of her, there are better ways to do it than, it's like such an easy, it's like you open a drawer of cliches, and that's the first one. How are your parents gonna embarrass you? Showing embarrassing baby photos.
Yeah.
That is like it's a go-to. And then there's the scene in the church, which could have been a better use, like if they spent more time with that, and then made the relationship with the reverend the awkward part. That would have been fine. But they just don't. Like, they mention, oh, she's really Christian now, and because she's dating this reverend. And then it doesn't go anywhere. That is so like a dropped thread. I really did not like this fucking movie. Like, it's one of those things. When a comedy is made, no matter how much not to your taste it is, it's really, really hard if you're trying for 2 hours to make people laugh, to not at least get a couple giggles out of someone.
Yeah.
I can honestly say this movie didn't do it for, like, seriously, one joke that actually landed for me. Otherwise, I laughed because someone else was laughing. That's terrible. How do you fuck up a comedy that much? Ugh.
You combine it into 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4 individual horrible Christmas comedies combined into 1.
It almost feels like this could have worked better if it were like a TV series, or like a TV, like, how when shows will do their Christmas special episode?
Yeah.
Well, if you think, you're running weekly, that gives you usually 4 episodes on which to do Christmas specials, right?
Yeah.
What if you just did this kind of idea of going to 4 different parts of the family and have each be an episode in, like, a season of television? Do 4 episodes that all take place on Christmas Day. That would make more sense than what we get here.
You know what else this movie feels like? I just realized it feels like Meet the Parents, if they had made 4 Meet the Parents movies and then combined them into 1.
Yes, definitely. I do feel it's awkward that they've never met each other's families, and they've been dating for 3 years. Like, I realize that they avoid their families, but 3 fucking years, come on.
Yeah, I don't know, they could have really done something a lot more interesting than what I'm thinking about this movie with, like, the whole idea of, like, how bad can your family be before you just can't overcome how horrible they are and that you must reject them from your life to live your own life? Like, you could have done a comedy like that where it doesn't feel the need to, like, pussyfoot around the ending and be like, yeah, you just come back together in the end, it's good, because you had one good meeting and conversation with one person. Everything else is all okay. You're good.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's obvious that they still don't spend much time with their families because of the whole New Year's joke at the end.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's not where you're left by the last scene, last Christmas Day scene, I guess I'll say.
Yeah.
That's not what the impression you're given is. Like, the impression is the importance of family and being there for each other and wanting to start families. So I find it so stupid. Just this whole movie is garbage. Let's try something, and, good luck, because you're gonna go first.
Fuck.
What's something you enjoyed about this movie?
Something I enjoyed about this movie. I will say this. I enjoy the diversity of all the different families, and I think that, like, it really does kind of a decent job of at least showing the variety of the kinds of parents that exist and how they can all kind of be weird. So, like, you have the standoffish, stern father who probably is like, you can't cry or else you're a little pussy to his son. That's the first kind of parent you have, right?
Mm-hmm.
The dad that, like, that gives young boys father issues. That's the kind of dad okay, fine. Then you get the weird kind of hippie-type mother in Vince Vaughn's mom, who just goes on a weird, crazy sexual fantasy and ruins Vince Vaughn's relationship with her, so that can't work out. And then you have, like, the prissy, I guess, like, high society type parent in Reese Witherspoon's mother, but then you have the actual, like, he's just an older guy, he's your grandpa type guy, and her father. So, like, they actually paint a somewhat accurate picture in the diversification of the kinds of people that are their parents. That's as much into that statement as I will go, though, because you can't really go much farther into that.
No, I agree. I feel they do a good job of getting, like, different kinds of families, but different kinds of monsters is what it really is. It's not all the same, like, maniac family. It's not like you have 4 different versions of, what's his name in National Lampoon's Family Christmas.
Oh, fuck.
Like the brother-in-law.
Yeah, Eddie.
It's not like Eddie. It's not like you have 4 Eddies.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of awful. I'll give it that. Yeah. Okay, what's something nice I could say about this movie? Something that it does well. I like that in a Christmas movie where you're going to have the contrivance of they can't not be around their families, it's not snow. Because that would be the obvious go-to is, okay, well, snow stops them from getting away, and now they're forced in this situation. Yeah. So I like that it's fog and not snow. That's at least slightly less cliche than everything else in this movie. I know, like, the lowest ball compliment I could give it.
Hors d'oeuvres?
Also, I guess I like that Vince Vaughn is camera shy when his character's on camera. That was
that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny, yeah.
Like, they don't do enough with it, but
yeah.
It's I'm not sure if he's camera shy. No, it's got to be because he knows the situation. Because when he's on stage, he's not. I guess it would have made more sense then for Reese Witherspoon to be camera shy. Yeah,
see, that was the weird thing about that particular family is that he contributes to the pain that she's feeling when they go to their house.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, does she ever, like, contribute to how horrible his family is or anything like...
No. No, not at all. Like, she encourages him to stand up for himself to his brothers, but that's not contributing to, you know, her being awful or anything in that way. Also, I feel like you eventually, you know, dating someone for 3 years, I feel like you would come across if they changed their name at one point.
Probably.
Especially if you're living together, you probably get old mail or something like that, or mail that uses the wrong name.
That would probably happen. Like, it's one of those weird things where it's like...
It's just too...
I don't
bizarre.
understand I'm embarrassed by my name! I don't understand that ever with anyone. It's like, the name that I was given at birth against my will, I'm embarrassed by... Like, if you changed your name, then you shouldn't have any problem with saying, my name used to be Orlando, like...
Yeah, you just, like, obviously you wouldn't introduce yourself in that way, but you'd still bring it up.
He's like, hi, my name used to be Asshole, but now it's Bob. You just say, hi, my name is Bob. But
yeah, like, that's unrealistic, though. Eventually it would come up, oh yeah, I changed my name, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, eventually you'd be like, oh yeah, my name used to be Orlando, or some bullshit, like, oh, we're going to, like, I don't know, there's gotta be a case in which...
Like, it doesn't feel like they've been dating for 3 years. It feels like they've been dating for 2 months.
Yeah.
Also, I guess I was glad that they subverted what it appeared they were setting up in the first scene, because that scene was fucking dumb. If that had been that they were... that's how, like, they actually met, that would have been stupid.
Mm-hmm.
God, that was, like, it was just insulting. And, like, when it reveals that, oh, they're actually a really close couple, blah, blah, I'm like, okay, I guess that works. But wow, what a way to really dig yourself a little hole right at the beginning of your movie. Because it's not even funny. Like, like, that scene isn't funny in any way, shape, or form. Right? Like, could you... Even if I was inclined to laugh at it, could you laugh at anything in that scene?
No, not really.
Yeah, it's not even funny. Again, it feels like something a 14-year-old would write in a sex story. It's just so, like, oh, well, fucking bitch, I'm gonna grab your tits and... The fuck is that?
I'm gonna grab your tits!
Yeah, that was stupid. This is a stupid scene. Ugh. Okay, I'm fucking done talking about this garbage movie. You go first for ratings, unless you had anything else you wanted to bring up.
No, I don't want to talk about this movie anymore. I will give 4 Christmases. I will give it... I'm gonna give this movie 1 out of 5 incredibly annoying little idiot children that you just want to kick in the fucking face.
Gotcha. Okay.
This movie has plenty of those.
Yeah. Kicking children was nice. Okay. I've said 3 or 4 nice things about this movie. Absolutely none of them make it worth watching in any way, shape, or form. So I'm giving 4 Christmases a 0 out of 5
Oh, shit!
playhouses. Bouncy playhouses or pregnancy tests. Or I don't even care to think of a clever verb.
Or do for
Okay, what are we going to talk about next time? We need to talk about something shorter.
Oh.
But I don't know, like, I've got something in my head that I kind of want to rewatch for some reason, but I don't know if you'd be able to get a hold of it. So I'm going to just I'm going to assume you're going to be ingenuitive enough to manage, okay, Rasco?
Okay.
We're going to talk about the 90s Zorro Christmas special.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fine episode from an okay show. It's just, I, for some reason, want to rewatch that now.
Zorro Christmases.
Yep. So, also, yeah, another thing with this fucking movie. Christmases is not a fucking word. It's a stupid title.
Your title
This
even
shit
failed.
does not that shit fucking spell checks your ass, so...
Your title even fails, movie. Fuck you. Get out of here.
Yeah. Fucking straight up 0 out of 4. Actually, you know what? No, fuck it. I've changed my mind on my choice. I've changed my mind. I want to talk about a comic. It's just going to be a single issue. It's going to be the Larfleeze Christmas special from the Green Lantern book. That should be fun.
Alright.
Yeah, because that I think we'll just have slightly more to say about. Alright, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, I'm the Philosopher.
And I am Father Christmas.
And we are your geeky gentlemen, and we will be discussing things.
Merry Christmas, boys and girls.